One thing I've been really obsessed over probably last few years is how successful, ultra successful entrepreneurs, celebrities, people who really made it big, what do they do for themselves to stay successful, to stay consistent, to stay on top of their game? And one of my observations is that they heavily invest in their well-being. They heavily invest in their mental health through a variety of modalities, through and specifically through hypnosis. So, and this is what we're going to talk about today. Uh, so, like, if you're joining me, say hello in the chat. Tell me that you're watching, where you're watching me from, and also if something resonates with you, whether you're watching me live, whether you're watching on the replay, just share with me share with me your thoughts. Share, and also if you have questions or if something resonates with you specifically, just let me know. So. As I said at the beginning, like I've been really obsessed with what people are doing to stay consistent, to stay successful. And I'm not talking about just consultants or online coaches. I'm talking about people who really made it big. I'm talking about the CEOs of big companies. I'm talking about people who build empires. And one thing, they heavily invest in their well-being because bodies build businesses. And there are so many different modalities to enhance your performance, to enhance your nervous system. And one of the modalities is hypnotherapy and hypnosis. And I think there's so much misconception about hypnosis, about hypnotherapy in the industry that and also among like we see different hypnotherapists like out there because I went through the process of getting my license, of getting certifications, all that on top of my clinical education. Okay, like we're gonna talk about that later. And like I really want to break it down to you. So like, hello Tanya, I'm here watching from Northern Virginia. Hello, Mary Kay from Toronto. Like, hello, everybody. Listen, as you're joining me, say hello in the comments. And if you're watching on the replay, also let me know that you're watching on the replay. I would love to say hello to you. And as always, I don't take it for granted when you come here. So, let's talk about what is hypnosis, because it is. There are so many misconceptions, and like I think in the public eye, we have a little bit skewed perception of what is hypnosis. There are many different definitions of hypnosis, but for me, hypnosis is a directed attention that passes your critical faculty. Is the attention without overthinking, if you put it that way, attention without overthinking. And that attention without overthinking can be achieved through a state of trance. And the state of trance is the state when you're not quite awake and you're not quite asleep. You're just in the zone, right? It can occur when you're driving. It can occur when you're watching a movie. It can occur when you're meditating. Like it is a fairly like healthy state. So, what is hypnosis or hypnotherapy? Hypnotherapy is when you are intentionally go into state of trance and a practitioner or person who administers hypnosis does the work that is conducive for positive change. And this is where we get a lot of miscommunication or like misfired feedback. We see celebrity hypnotists that do stage hypnosis. Uh, Although there are similar mechanisms, right? Like in hypnosis, on stage hypnosis, and more therapeutic, more somatic hypnosis, right? But the core difference is not like it's not about you, it's not that you're going to act weird, it's not that it's a mind control, it's not a mind control, it is like in fact your subconscious mind is so powerful. When your subconscious mind doesn't feel safe, you will get alert, you will get back out of trance, and you can take control over over the situation at any point. Nobody can suggest anything that is not compliant with your consciousness, with your subconscious mind. Like nobody can force you anything. And also it is essential to understand who is administering hypnosis, because listen, after getting my license and after getting my license as a registered hypnotherapist, after going looking at different programs, right, and interacting with different hypnotherapists, um, and this field is loosely regulated. Like it's better than coaching, but it's loosely regulated. So essentially, not every hypnotherapist has background in human psychology and clinical psychology or therapy. So with that said, that simple act of getting into trance, into hypnosis is not simply enough. Like I said, you can get into state of trance at any given moment, but what is essential, it is essential that you work with a professional who actually knows human psychology, who actually is informed, trauma informed, has education in and related field like social worker, psychologist, therapist, counselor, um, person who knows how human psychology works and also knows the tools that they can actually use right there and then in order to make a change. So let me see in the comments hi, and it's so helpful to have someone who has the certification and deeper insights into thoughts and emotions. Yes, and Tanya, it's not just about certifications, right? Because anybody can certify in hypnotherapy. Unfortunately, this that kind of shocked me in the industry, and it's more about bringing all the experience together, because I was working as a therapist for probably 8 to 10 years, um, way back then. That was what one of my big careers, way back then before tech, right? And I went through the clinical education, and this is what is missing in this field, and in fact in the coaching field too, understanding how people actually working, how people actually functioning. like I want some in my mind who didn't understand the bigger picture. Yes, Tanya, absolutely. I would not want either. That's why I say this is real. This is so essential to understand who you're working with, right? What is the background? What is the qualifications of the person who is working with you? So, uh, the core idea, like when I think about how we execute our businesses, the core idea of execution, the execution is not just tactical, it is also deeply psychological and deeply emotional, because business is emotional, right? We build something very personal, we are building something on our own, and we our emotions get in the way, our emotions absolutely get in the way. And also what we face on an everyday basis, we face decision fatigue, because let's say when you're running your business, you're the CEO, you're the CMO, you are the main decision maker, and you have tons of decisions to make. And the thing is, you are responsible for your decision. In 9 to 5, when in corporate, when you have somebody above you, or when you work for somebody else, even if you're number two, you're the second person to the CEO. CEO has the responsibility of, even if you make a wrong decision, CEO has to deal with your wrong decision at the end of the day. Yeah, you can get fired. Yeah, you can get let go. But in business, right, you are dealing with consequences, and the decision fatigue is really real. Emotional spirals. Listen, some people get better handle on emotional spirals than others, but again, business is emotional. And sometimes emotions are heightened. We are impatient. And this is another thing in business that sometimes we jump off the cliff because we get too emotional. We get in a spiral before we actually see the results. Internal pressure, it's a lot of pressure. Like running a business is a lot of pressure inside. When it's going well, it's a lot of pressure because you see the growth. When something is not working, I think the pressure is bigger. So the pressure from entrepreneurship is never going away. Even if you're building lifestyle business, the pressure is always there. The burnout the burnout happens at any stage of business, and burnout happens when you are working on when your performance is not enhanced, is not optimized. I'm all about work giving 100% effort to your business. In fact, you should give 100% effort to your business at any given point, but also you should give 100% effort to your business without burnout. And 100% effort without burnout can be only achieved through enhanced performance. Is when you are fully integrated and you also calibrate the seasons of recovery or the periods of full recovery and rest and periods of 100% effort. Then your brain knows when to work and when to rest. Then you are not pressing gas and stop at the same time. So, and this is where the burnout happens. So why leaders, why successful leaders are so obsessed with their well-being, and why some of them tune into hypnotherapy and other modalities. Because our our brains, our bodies, one of my coaches would say that our bodies build businesses, and I absolutely agree with her. Because if we are not if we are not motivated, if we're not inspired, if we're not well, nothing is well in our companies. We can have all the strategists, we can have the best teams, we can have the eight players, we can have the winners, we can have the best offers, we can have the best empires. But if we're not well, nothing is going to work at the end of the day. You are the most expensive asset in your company. You can buy anything. You can buy houses, you can buy assets, you can hire teams, you can build empires. But if you're not well, none of this matters. That's why a lot of people, majority, all of the successful people, especially who play it big, they heavily invest in personal development. And many of those CEOs and founders, they found their way to actually integrate and center themselves through hypnotherapy. For example, Ariana Huffington, big entrepreneur, but and sort of controversial figure, right? I want to bring her as an example. She tuned into hypnotherapy, therapeutic hypnosis, to actually work through burnout. And this is something that she brought in her practice, like guided hypnosis, like meditations, right? And again, what is hypnosis, what is meditation? Sometimes the boundaries can blur quite frankly. But it's only one of big entrepreneurs who are tuning into hypnosis. And if you Google right out, I encourage you, do your own research, right? Don't trust me on that. Do your own research, because I was Googling the names, people who use who use hypnotherapy and who use hypnosis for performance, athletes, entrepreneurs, celebrities, who are digging into subconscious mind to actually perform. And I found a big list of people who use hypnotherapy and hypnosis. And I was like, yeah, that absolutely checks out. So, but why hypnosis is so effective? Why hypnosis is so effective, and why a lot of people are tuning into hypnosis? Like, first of all, like, as I said at the beginning, hypnosis allows you to address and focus without overthinking. Because when we have our critical faculty on, when we're thinking, we get into spiral. The picture gets muddier. With hypnosis, you can get to your root cause, to the center, and get with yourself without overthinking. This is directed, focused attention. And you can access parts of your mind that on everyday basis you are simply way too busy to access. And that is the most powerful part of hypnosis. So Jay said you're good. This topic always hypnotized me. Thank you. So now, as I said before, hypnosis itself, like it is a healing state, but also you have to have the right tools with hypnosis. And I use a variety of tools with my clients. One of the tools that I absolutely like, and is parts work or ego states work. One is ego states. I talked about it before, but I will remind you. Ego states are simply neural connections. Like from the moment we are born, we're taking our first breath, we open our eyes, our brain starts learning and recording those experiences. Our neurons start forming connections. And through experiences, through social experiences, we form different parts of ourselves and different ego states. And why it is important with hypnotherapy, like you can actually do ego states work without hypnosis. I actually have done it on my podcast with one of my guests. But why ego states are important? One is running your business, because we form healthy states, healthy parts of ourselves through our experiences. And this is beautiful and normal, but we also have wounded part of ourselves, wounded ego states that are not operating from healthy capacity. And one of the indicators that you are not operating from the healthy ego state is when you go into spiral, when you get overcritical, when you're experiencing imposter syndrome, when you're getting in a state of panic, and then sometimes we experience like reactive or even addictive behaviors, right? I don't know about you, but when it kind of like when it stays our heart, like back in the day when when I was newer to entrepreneurship, I would say, hey, like I need to go to the bar to regulate my nervous system, and it was absolutely wrong coping mechanism. But it was like that at that moment, a wounded ego state that is not used to the pressure was operating. And with ego states work in hypnotherapy, we are replacing the wounded ego state. We heal the wounded ego state and we put it in a safe place, and we replace it with the most working, most adult, most powerful state that can actually run your business. And our businesses are so often driven by wounded ego states that we're not recognizing that. Tell me, let me know if it resonates. We often go into a spiral. We often go into reactive behaviors. We often go into this like panic mode. And also, like when we're hiring people, there's a big problem with small startups. Like either you're a consultant or a coach, like you're hiring a small team. So like the team culture is a disaster because like who is running your company? What part of you is running your company? What is the culture you're creating? Because your culture of your company depends on your mood. And in the morning you might be in a good mood. In the afternoon you are in a crappy mood. So like here goes your culture. So my personal story with hypnosis, right? How hypnosis personally affects me and my business. What like the big thing, I can actually zoom out and look at my business objectively. That is a big thing. That is a big thing because like I at the end of the day, like at the end of the year, I've been working on this container for probably for several months, and I was very hesitant, right? I was very hesitant, like about going forward with this new container, and going into hypnosis, working with a hypnotherapist as well, allowing me to stop spiraling, allowing me to actually have a very sober minded approach about my business, what I'm actually doing, and what actually matters, and understand where I'm at, and also allowing myself to well, test different things without spiral, without overwhelm. That is the big thing. Like that was the biggest win for me. So, Tanya said, like, we push aside those wounded parts and hide them, and then we don't see how they are driving our decisions in a sneaky way. Yeah, Tanya, absolutely. Absolutely. Because, for ages, like, I would tell myself, helping people in a meaningful way, like addressing their subconscious mind, doing integration work, does it pay the bills? Because nobody cares about well-being. And I was so wrong. It was my wounded state talking to myself. Also, the money story, right? We all have the money story. At any given point in our businesses, we do have the money story. And my money story was from mental health professional who was overworked, underpaid, and burned out. And that was my money story, that if I will help people, I will burn out again. I will not get paid well. And I'd rather do something else. I'd rather do something tangible to make money. And this is not the correct money story. And the money story changes when we address that wounded part of ourselves, put it in a safe space to heal and to grow, so that part can be actually fully integrated and grown and mature. And also, like when I work with different parts of people, different ego states, I use acceptance and commitment therapy, because every part of you must be accepted, and you must make commitment to every part of you to grow and to go to the next level. And it's so essential for our businesses. And it's so essential to our businesses, because this is how we sabotage ourselves. And I have seen it. And we sabotage ourselves not only when something is not working, but also when something is working. I have seen entrepreneurs in my container, in other people's container, when they're starting making big, like one entrepreneur found the way how to make 24K, about 24K every single week or so, not month, a week. And there was a really, really clever system, and she could absolutely make it big, but she decided not to pursue that because that was scary. That was all of a sudden, oh, like that is the fear of success and responsibility. People stop their momentum purposely. So like, oh, I can work like that anymore. Oh, I can go as high. Oh, I can reach that high. Oh, like that is happening too fast, because I also receive messages from my clients saying that like they're so happy for their success, but the success is happening way too fast and they need to slow down. And then they would rather go back. So, and it's like on the one hand we are so impatient with ourselves. On the other hand, when we are getting what we want, like sometimes we get scared and we sabotage ourselves and the inner critic. And there are so many there are so many ways. Listen, I would like to invite you to my wait list. So this at the end, it's the end of the year. I'm launching the new program. I'm introducing the new container, and instead of inviting you to just get a consultation with me, I would like you to join my community and join my waitlist. And the waitlist is not simply to stay informed. The waitlist, I really want you to experience me on a deeper level. Experience me through my emails. I'm getting better at working with my email list. Listen, this is this is the issue that I have to address, but also I would like to I will be like in 2026 I will be opening private more intimate rooms where you can absolutely come and experience this for free. I will be recording hypnosis recordings too, specifically for entrepreneurs, specifically people who are running high stake businesses. And you will be the first people who get the recording. And also when the doors are open, like absolutely people who are on the wait list, they will get all the perks, all the benefits. All, I don't do much discounts, but I add benefits from the people who are with me and people who are on the wait list. You're not gonna get a discount, but you're gonna get the best price possible. You're gonna get the best early bird waitlist price possible when their doors are open, and I'm ready to invite masses to this container. And also, I would like to get your feedback too, because this is co-creation. Like I don't like just push my ideas and solutions on people. I like co-creating with other entrepreneurs. So join my waitlist. The link is in the post in my bio. Like you can find the waitlist link anywhere. And also, like, I don't spam my email list. If you're on my email list, like maybe I will send you an email once a week, maybe once in 2 weeks, right? But I really want to create the intentional space for my community when you can experience me on a deeper level, because I'm not about hype marketing. I'm not about creating this like rah rah momentum. I'd rather you to go deep, and I'd rather go small too. Like, I don't need like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people on the Zoom call. I'd rather work with 5, 10 people on the Zoom call and do deep work and let those people who fully have experience, so they can decide if it is something that they want to move forward with, and also get tremendous benefits from it. So join my waitlist. Now, I do have a few seconds like to finish out. Let me know what resonated with you. Let me know what is your biggest takeaway. And like we talked about the hypnosis, that like a lot of ultra successful people use hypnotherapy to enhance their mental health, their brain, because you are the most expensive asset in your business. If you're not doing well, your business is not doing well. Number two, hypnosis is not mind control. Hypnosis is a natural state. Number three, be mindful who is administering hypnosis. Look, I went through clinical training. I work years as a therapist. And also, hypnosis itself is a healing state, but you also have to have the right tools to uh, implement that and make it as successful as humanly possible. Again, thank you so much, everybody. Join my waitlist. Thank you for being on my live stream. And I will see you in the next video, whether it is podcast or another live stream. Thank you for being here. I'm not taking it for granted, and I will see you next time. All right. Bye, y'all.